'cause I am the queen.
Hey guys, welcome back to another book rant. Today we're going to be talking about, honestly, a pretty good one. It was a fun one. It is The Entanglement of Rival Wizards by Sara Raasch, featuring Luna, who decides to be in this video today. Hi Luna. This one, before I even get into it, I'm just gonna say it was not what I thought. I didn't know what I was getting into. Let's just say that I did not know what I was getting into. When I picked it up, it wasn't in like a specific, because I didn't know anything about the book when I bought it. Like I sometimes I'll see things on the internet about a book and like I'll get interested, but I like found this one and then I found like in the bookstore. Looked interesting, looked cute. It had there was obviously an MM given um the characters on the front, and it was a romance, and I was like, cool. And it looks super like they're wizards, supernatural, whatever. Um, I thought it was gonna be a YA, honestly, or like a fiction, or like just something. I was expecting zero spice. I was expecting zero spice when I went into this. Like, I thought maybe, like off the page spice, maybe like a YA, basically, like just off the page. Maybe some kissing, like light stuff, like nothing's too serious. I fully believed because I skimmed the back. It seemed interesting. Two wizards go to the school. They hate each other, and they are now forced to work together on this like project for school so that they can graduate. And I figured, they hate each other. They would have to work together, and they wouldn't get along. And eventually, they'd kind of find common ground, try to get through the project, and eventually develop crushes on each other and get together at the end. Like that's literally how I thought this was gonna go. That's just so I thought it was gonna be just some cute, quick little wizard enemies to lovers, and not even like hard enemies, just because like they just weren't friends, and they studied different departments. They just did their departments don't like each other already. That was the main thing. They didn't know anything actually about each other. So, you know, that's kind of what I thought going into this. And then it got very spicy very quickly. Did it take me off guard? Absolutely. Did I love every moment of it? Absolutely. Because I will never say no to spice at all. I just wasn't expecting it. And I thought, okay, maybe one or two scenes. Cool. Already, usually I tell you at the end of the spice level, but just off the rip, it was a 5 out of 5 for me on the spicy scale. It was very. I was not, and I think it was more because I was not expecting it at all. Because again, I didn't know anything about this book when I picked it up, but it was actually very good. I finished it very quickly. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, it's Sebastian and Theo. They both go to this school that they live in a world where people have powers, people are different species, things like that. And they both are finalists for this grant, and they have to work together in order to like get it, also in order to graduate. Like they have to come up, they have to work together with their two, because the departments are a little bit different. She's over here gnawing on, why are you gnawing on stuff? Their departments are separate but kind of similar in that aspect. Sebastian's human who uses magic. Theo is an elf, and they just kind of, to be honest with you, I don't fully know how to explain the different departments. One of them's called evocation, the other one's called conjure. What is it? Conjuration. I know one of them involves like making something out of nothing, and the other one, actually, I think I do know how to explain it. One of them making something out of nothing, I think, and the other ones you have to use specific elements and specific things to then make something. That part I wasn't fully. I'm gonna be honest. I was a little bit confused on that part, but I was like, you know what? I don't need to understand it that thoroughly to understand the book. It was fine. Um, but that's what it was. They hated each other. They did not want to work together in the beginning at all. They separate spaces. They honestly tried to avoid each other for a while, which that really didn't work because to they had to check in. They would check in with their teacher or like the person like who's overseeing making sure they're actually working together. And their first check in did not go well, but that's okay. I do want to say it's only how many pages is it? Actually, this is the next book. There's another book, and I'm excited. I don't know what's coming out, but there was the second book. It's only 318 pages. I I want to say, in my opinion, I needed about 50 more pages, just because this book was cute, it was good. However, the characters did have some deep trauma for in within themselves. They both had some trauma and went through some things, and that was kind of one of the things that brought them together was them able to help each other through it. I just feel it rushed certain aspects. There were a lot of time jumps in this, which I get. Sometimes it's not always necessary to have like that much detail. Like they could have cut a bunch of stuff out. Like you didn't need this, that, and the other. And like I understand that, but it was just some parts I felt there could have been more added to it, more deeper into the trauma, more deeper into kind of them working through it together. Like I said, they time jumped a bit because I think it was like months had went by because it was like a whole whatever. Um, Especially with Theo and his family, because most of it when they talked about his family was that the family that you do hear about where they were trying to control him and like black I wouldn't say blackmail, but like yeah, control him and things like that. And it had to do with like his mom and like his dad, and you kind of see some things on it. Like you get a little bit of that backstory, but not much. And to be honest, I know at least some things. I don't know. It just seemed it went by very quickly. Um, just I would have liked 50 more pages. That's it. Don't gotta be super, super long. That's fine. I love a nice, short, sweet. But it was only because of like the trauma part. I wanted to see more. I just wanted more of the book. It was really good. I wanted more. It is a series, but I wanted more of like this couple specifically. Maybe we might get a little bit more in the other books. Even though I believe they're about other characters, but you might get snippets. Anyway, that's all I have to say on that part. But as far as them two together, they they really connected in that way. They understood each other better than anyone. Sebastian helped Theo stand up to his family, helped him realize that like we can figure you can figure this out. You don't need them. Theo kind of helped Sebastian not be. I don't really know the word for it. He helped him with the trauma of what he went through at this camp he was sent to as a child. Um, he kind of encouraged him to be because they're connected in a way that they didn't understand. Theo's family owned the camp that he was sent to as a child. Theo didn't know really much about the camp because he never went. He never knew what actually went down, and no one believed Sebastian when he tried to tell them what was going on. No one believed what they would put them through, and even if they did, they pushed it off as, oh, it makes you better, like it's to build you up or whatever. It was some stupid bullshit. That's what it was, honestly. And Theo was actually, you know what? I believe you. I don't know anything about it, but I believe you. And if you need to take down my family to get past this, let's fucking do it. He was like, let's do it. And he was there. They went to trial later. They sued him later once they found evidence. And Theo stuck by him the whole time. And it's hard because a lot of times, it's like when it comes to family, like these characters are like, oh, it's family, you gotta stick by them, yada yada. And I'm like, no. Just because they're family or their blood doesn't mean that they're right. It doesn't mean that I have to support the shit that you did. And it worked. And Sebastian helped him with his mother, and things worked out with that, and things kind of we kept it pushing. Okay. And again, now the spicy parts were very, very detailed, very cute. They went on dates. I will say that they didn't just fool around. It got kind of serious without them realizing it. And they did go on dates. Theo made Sebastian a whole dinner, even though they didn't even. Let's just say they had a little fun before they got to the dinner. Dinner got cold. They had to warm it back up. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. But there was also no judgment because Theo's family's rich, and Sebastian did assume a lot of things about him, and they got to know him. He got to actually see he's not the spoiled rich kid that Sebastian thought he was. That Sebastian kind of assumed just based off of his last name, even though honestly, Theo would much rather change that last name if he had a choice. So, because like his dad wasn't even around, honestly. And they're in college. I do want to say that they are in college. This is a college thing. This isn't like a high school thing. They are adults. Yeah, they're adults. I don't know how old exactly, but college. I don't know the years of how their world works. I don't remember. I read this. When did I read this? It was probably, I think it was sometime last year, something like that. I don't know. They figured out their project. Don't ask me what the project was. I didn't fully understand what they were trying. I think it was more of because, like I said, with one of them, when you need certain elements in order to do the magic, and I think they were trying to make it a way for like to combine conjuring, where you can conjure up set elements to try to use it. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Don't ask me about the magical part and the elements part of how their world works. If you understand it, please let me know. I kind of understood it, but I was just like, it's fine. I understand what's going on. They're working on it. I understand what's going on. So, call it that. But I did want to show you the book in case you haven't seen it. That's Sebastian. He's technically human. He uses magic, and that's Theo, who's half elf. And his half of his family actually comes from like a different realm, like an elf realm type of thing. That's where his little deadbeat dad was hiding out when their mom got hurt or something. That's also the thing. I was like, that's what I'm saying. I needed 50 more pages because I needed more of what was going on, what's gonna happen. Because I mean, they did talk about it. That you had a brief explanation of everything, and you understood it, but it was just, you know, I just wanted more. I'm being selfish. I wanted more. That's all I got to say. So yeah, and it's really cute. I love the colors. I will say that, but I'm also love pink. That was the Entanglement of Rival Wizards. There is a second one. I don't know when it's coming out. To be completely honest with you, it's about the best friend. It's about Sebastian's best friend in the second one. So we will keep a lookout for that. Because that baby also has some trauma. Honestly, I would not be surprised if that one was definitely a bit longer because that baby definitely went through some things that he has not at all processed and needs some help. But that's it for this book rant. I will see you guys later. Again, recommendations always welcome. Sorry, my cat's scratching that stuff. She should be scratching that, whatever. That's it for this book rant. Recommendations are always welcome, as always. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.